is my pleasure today to remain standing after I sing for you. It's been a while since I had the privilege to sing for you for many reasons. And it's been a while since I've been here, and normally I share this space. And I really miss my practitioners right now. I wish I had to share this space. But I know that God is here, right now. I am prepared, and I want to say something to those that specifically showed up to show me your support. Please don't be nervous for me. I trust, I love you, and I'm so very grateful to be here. So, did everyone have a great Thanksgiving? Yes. Yay! When I signed on to do this message for you, I knew it was the weekend of Thanksgiving, but what was I thinking, right? I mean, what was I thinking? I am, in all honesty, exhausted. So I'm going to share a little bit of a Thanksgiving story with you, my experience, and then I'll come back around because it's going to serve for great material for learning. Because what I've come to understand that the holidays lately, for me, have been, and I'm sure, I'm making this assumption, but I'm sure kind of for everyone, the holidays is a place where things surface. We get to look at them. If we allow them to surface, not ignore them, and not push them down. The trick around the holidays is there's often so much, and I'll speak to what I believe is so much, is because we are tied into stories that we created a long time ago. Now, we have been working this month on the theme and on the book of Neville Goddard, Seed Time and Harvest. And my particular talk for you today is, who would we be if we thought, if we acted, if we did everything the person we wanted to be did? So there's 3 parts to my message. There'll be a part of Thanksgiving and gratitude. There'll be a part of the tricky power of intention. And there'll be a part on core beliefs. And that's where I want to start. Because all the other stuff is not going to stick unless we really take the opportunity to look at our thoughts and what's going on. So I have a story to share with you. And it may seem familiar because I did this a couple years ago. Because this story is revealing. But it's important to share because for me, this is when real transformation started to happen. I was in a bad relationship, which seemed to be my pattern for many, many years. And I was broke, which seemed to be my pattern for many, many years. And I realized that I wasn't happy for many, many years, and I was tired of it. I was so raw. I was just tired of it, and I needed help. I was able to put together, I need help. So I lived in North Carolina at the time, and at the time, the United Way offered counseling services on a swing scale. So I lucked out and got this amazing woman by the name of Lauren Hampton, now Dr. Lauren Hampton, who introduced me to some exercises I, to this day, perform. I walked in and I had a spiral notebook and a pen, and I was ready to fix myself, to fix my life. I'm ready. And I walk in and she says, "What brings you in today?" And I said, "Well, my boyfriend tells me something's wrong with you." And the boyfriend before him said, "Something's wrong with you." And I've heard all my life, "Something's wrong with you," that I want to fix it. We can relate, right? So really, her jaw dropped open, and she explained to me later why. And she looks at me and she says, "Cognitive therapy." Now, before I go on, we all get to choose our methods of learning, of growing, of healing, of finding ways to step into that person we want to be. And at that time, therapy was for me. It could be for you too. Also understand that coming here allows you support. Tapping into the strengths and the power of a practitioner that can offer you a new thought, which I'll speak to a little bit later. There are all many resources. At this particular time in my life, therapy was the way I wanted to go, so I wanted to fix it. So she looks at me, jaw down, and says, "Cognitive therapy." She opens up her file cabinet. She pulls out a folder and she gives me homework. And I'm excited because I know if I do the homework, I'm going to be fixed. So here was my homework. She goes, I have a feeling there are some things that kind of float around in your thoughts that you have come to believe. And there's false beliefs. The reason they're there. But I want you to look at them. I want you to go home. I want you to write them down. I want you to reveal them to yourself and then bring them back to me next week. So I was excited. I go home, okay, and I write down. And I'm going to tell you, now keep in mind that I'm raw, I'm unhappy, I'm broken. I had no problem accessing my core beliefs. No problem at all. Now, keep in mind, I came back with her with 25. And I will spare you, and that's no exaggeration, and I want to spare you the 25. But I don't even have to look. I'll share 5 with you. Okay, so you know that there's something wrong with me. I've got that going on. But it's even deeper than that. There's something inherently wrong with me. There is something unfixable. The surface of me, without understanding, is going, I'm going to go fix myself. But the below that has not been looked at is saying you can't. And that had to be revealed first. If people got to know me, they wouldn't like me. Pretty huge, right? I am not supported. I am flawed, which can go with something's wrong with me. Flaw means specifics, your characters, your characteristics of yourself. You are making wrong. And one that is maybe you can relate to is I'll never be good enough. Now, I had no idea. But when I began writing them down, again, 25, I go back, I've done my homework, I'm all excited, I sit down, and I hand this to Dr. Lauren Hampton, and she looks at it and she smiles. And she goes, okay, we can begin now. Now, she also noticed that instead of grudgingly walking in, I was kind of had a little bounce. She said, really, the hardest job is done. You have revealed it. By revealing it, the awareness itself gives it less power. And I knew that with some of the new thought literature that I have read prior to, You Can Heal Your Life, Seed of the Soul, I had those two kind of floating around in my consciousness. I hadn't really applied it daily, like the practitioners and like all of us here that we apply. We come, get a little tweaking, and we go about, we read our books, we come back, get a little tweaking. I had not applied, but I had that floating around my head, and I began to realize that, yes, these core beliefs have been flavoring my life. And if I walk around going, I'm not good enough, there's going to be plenty of people that are going to confirm that for me. There are going to be plenty of situations that are going to confirm that with me. And I tell you, I've met them all. I'm kidding. But I feel like I have. And when I began to have that release, I began to look around everywhere. My life opened up. I no longer was in a position that I am incredibly wrong. But here's what I want to share with you. Today I'm talking about determining the harvest, determining what we put in the ground and what we may grow. But I have an exercise I want to share with you. So, however you pray, or however you open yourself up, I invite you to do so. Maybe you put your hands here. Do whatever you do before we go into treatment. Whether it's a grounding position or whether it's an open position, whatever you need. You are enough. You are enough. You are enough as you are right now, whole and perfect. You are enough. You are more than enough. You are perfect. You are enough, just as you are right now. Now, here's the beauty about our teaching, about going into our thoughts, adjusting, applying, is that the beauty and the cross, because if we walk into the desire to be someone that we're currently not, we're walking into this creation we want to be without the understanding that what we are is already enough. Now, what is on my heart? what I desire to bring into my life, what I desire to manifest, what I desire to be, is my innate, natural human condition. That will always be there. So it's twofold understanding. One, I am perfect the way I am. Two, I get to surrender to that desire in my heart to step forward and make the things I wish happen in my life. When I was that, I won't give you the age, 20 years ago, in that office, and my life began to open up, that's when I began to understand the power of designing the life that I wish to have. But here's the trick. This was 20-some years ago. Guess what? Our mind gets tired of the same words. It just gets tired. It gets tired. I welcome abundance in my life. How many times have we said that? Right? So I invite all of us, including me, because I've got to tell you that preparing this for you, I feel like my heart broke open yet again, because everything I'm sharing with you is what I work on too. And I'm very grateful to be able to share this with you and to be able to do this Thanksgiving weekend, because my Thanksgiving weekend was really tough. I mean, my Thanksgiving was tough. I am completely exhausted, right? Now, I want to speak to that truth because there's so many lessons there, right? So here's my Thanksgiving in a nutshell. I have never had my own Thanksgiving. Scott and I are so excited to host the very first Thanksgiving ever, because I come from a pretty big family, and I usually go home to North Carolina, and I'm the only daughter with two brothers, so I inherit the organizing of who's bringing what. And now that my mom gets older, I don't want her doing everything, so I'm kind of doing everything. And it's really not my expression. It's not looking how I'd like to look, but I'm there supporting my family, and I want to bring in things that I really want. For instance, music. I'd love to have music play in the background, and my father doesn't really like music playing in the background. In fact, I asked my dad, "What's your favorite music?" And he said, "Alf." So I never went there again. Off. So I'm so excited. It's our Thanksgiving. We're hosting the in-laws, hosting Scott's dad and mother-in-law. And I have in my head, even though I want to break away from this tradition, I have in my head that I got to do everything like Mom. Because guess what? If I don't, something is inherently wrong with me. I had no idea I had that going on. Remember, this was 20-some years ago when it first came to me. Something is inherently wrong. So that is humming in the background. Okay, so I have never made cornbread dressing by myself. Now, they're from Colorado. I've got to make cornbread dressing. I have got to make a sweet potato casserole. I have got to make collard greens. I've never made collard greens before. I haven't. I mean, there's something inherently wrong with me. I am from the South, and I have never made collard greens. So I had squash casserole, mashed potatoes. I've done that, easy enough. But I've never made the cornbread dressing by myself. I've always been Mom's sous chef. So I'm going to make it by myself. So here's what's going on. Mother-in-law in the kitchen. My kitchen's not real big. Mother-in-law in the kitchen. I'm trying to put all this together. She's trying to learn Southern ingredients. She's all up in me. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got to be proper. I have got to be the perfect host, and I'm going to host this dinner like I want, and you're going to like it. In my head, right? I am running off of this, and something's inherently wrong with me. I am flawed. If you get to know me, you're not going to like me. All this is running on top of trying to make Thanksgiving dinner. And I had no idea. I had no idea until my back went out. So I am braving through it, because I'm telling you, my mom and dad are some stoic people. If something's going on, they're popping their shoulder back and enjoying. I I cannot fail them. I got to hold up the tradition of my strong family. So I got this all going on. I've got to make my mama proud. I have all this going on. No wonder I'm exhausted. But guess what? That's my life. But it's the holidays, and it's coming up here for me to look at. I love the holidays. I love the smell of the Christmas tree. I love a good Thanksgiving dinner. I love everything that everybody loves about it. But they're exhausting because we got all of this coming way up here. So there it is, way up there. My back goes out. I am blazing through the dinner. I put everything on the table. So then when it comes to the next morning, we got a new mattress, and it's not working. It's not working. So my back has not had any recovery time. It's still out. So I don't golf, and Scott's parents do. So he took them to Top Golf, which actually, after they talked about it, I think I may try it. It was kind of fun. Sounds kind of fun. But it's the opportunity for me to do my back exercises to get my back in shape. I lie down on the bedroom floor, which is the first part of the exercise. If you have any back problems, come and see me after for Q&A, and I can help you out. So the first thing is you just lie flat and you put your face on the floor, right? And then you slowly move your hands up until you're like a cobra position when you're up like this. And you start flat on the floor. You know what I did? Flat on the floor and just cried in the carpet. That helped me more than anything. So I'm crying into the carpet. And then those core beliefs are starting to pick up because I'm in tune with my back being out, which can send me all sorts of core beliefs spiraling around in my head. And it came to me, oh my gosh, I'm repeating the exact same patterns and stuff that I'm upset with when I'm helping my mom with Thanksgiving. I'm just taking that over here because I've got the same beliefs. The situation changed, but the beliefs didn't. So the reflection didn't. I'm not good enough was hanging out all over the place. So what made it especially prevalent is I am hosting my mother-in-law, which I am nothing like. We are completely different. She's from Colorado. I'm from the South, obviously. Her trade is working in the prison system. I'm a dancer. She is 70, different generation. I'm not. She is bordering on 5 feet. I'm 5'8". She is from an Italian family, and all I know is I'm Southern. I go so far back. I mean, the only reason I know the French made their way over here is because I did a 23andMe. Whew, we're separate. But you know, we are so alike because she's got her own core stuff going on. We all got our own core stuff going on. Now, I want to take just a moment to point out that the very core stuff we got going on is often that which chisels the very gifts that we bring to other people, that we provide to this world, that keeps us connected. I was having a conversation with Richard Moy earlier, and there's something, MC is so great, because, and I've shared this with friends of mine, there's something about Richard that's very centered. When you're around them, you're just like, oh. And I asked him, is that something natural? Is that something innate you were born with, or did you work on that? And he goes, well, do you mind if I share this? I should have asked you first, probably. I don't put you up on. He said, well, my mom was kind of all over the place, and I just kind of learned that. And I'm like, what a gift Richard has brought to just us this morning, to his walk in life, to his family, to his partner, I'm sure. The very things that he may fight with or that we're struggling for him has chiseled the gift of groundedness. So it goes back to, you are perfect the way you are. You are perfect the way you are. And we get to invite things in our life that is on our heart. I want to move now to the power of intention, but the tricky power of intention, because I could not move here to an intention to create the person I want to be if we didn't look at our core values. Now, you may want to take some time to look at that, but now we can shift to intention. But here is what I've come to understand about intention. And the power of intention has been floating around our New Thought community for a long time. And there's something about it, for at least me personally, that it's not working for me. It's not sticking with me anymore. Intentions are important. I set them. That will not stop. But my understanding that unless I have something else, the intention is not going to have any sticking power. And here's what it needs. Awareness. The awareness that you can bring forth that which is on your heart. Because if you step into and make an intention of, I bring abundance into my life, and your core beliefs are going, you will always be broke. Money doesn't grow on trees. Everyone out there has money. I don't. If you step into, I am open to abundance, and you don't really feel that, then that's an opportunity to go back, core belief. So core belief, find out what's going on. Holidays bring that up big time. We're entering that. Welcome to the most powerful season of the year to work on your personal growth. Right. Tricky power of intention. Here's another thing about intention. Without the awareness, with the awareness is where we want to go. That it has sticking power to bring that intention forward. But if you go to, we'll say the universe, source energy, God, and say, give me, guess what? The universe is going to go, give me. And what it's going to look like is it not being there. So that's why the little tools, right, let's sit with that for a minute, right? Let's sit with that for a minute. I'm kind of feeling that. Let's sit for that a minute, because if you walk up and you're saying, I don't have. I don't have. If abundance, let's say financial abundance, is something you wish to bring into your life, walk forward and say, I have the power to make good decisions with my money. Now, I didn't make that up. I got that from the book. But it's powerful, right? You make good decisions with your money. You're already stepping into the power that you have it. And I want to tell you, when I went through that process of cognitive therapy, I found ways in my life, as broke as I was at the time, to look at money that I had, even when my bank account was zero. I will leave that to you to discover that for yourself. And now that feels on you. But really, the bottom line of what I'm saying here is look at ways that you already have it in your life. Look at ways of those things that are on your heart to bring forward that is already there, because the universe would not place it on your heart and then not give you the ability to bring it into your life. Everything is connected, including you, your desire, and the ability to manifest it in your life. The last thing I want to go into is gratitude. Grateful. We understand grateful, and I love grateful, because grateful is something. I am so grateful for that little baby. Breathing life in this room. Can you imagine, like, all the energy that is going to this little baby? Let's just take a moment. Let's just take a moment and breathe into that space of that little baby crying. We were there once, and now we're adults, and we get to move into the understanding and move up that vibrational frequency of understanding more of how to make my life better and how to stay more happy consistently, which is really, I think, what maybe we're all kind of working for, consistent happiness. Before I move on to grateful, that reminds me, and that place of happiness, I don't know if it's possible. And I'm just being very transparent Is it possible to walk around happy all the time? Now, some people are innately born, it's been proven, innately born, they're a little more happy than others. They kind of, things like flow off their back. They're kind of like Teflon. You know, that doesn't bother me. I know maybe 2 people like that in my life. But, I mean, it's just kind of, they have an easier way of moving through life. 50% they're saying is innate. And I'm only getting this as a resource of what I've read in like Psychology Today and things like that. But it's, you're moving through life kind of how you were innately showing up in life. But there's a 20 to 30% that you have a handle on yourself, that you get to create circumstances through your actions, from your thoughts, that create a better life for you and that make you happy. That is adjustable. And that's huge. So I'm probably not going to be walking around smiling all the time, and it doesn't mean I'm not happy. As for you. But the times that we're unhappy, let's not make it wrong. Let's look at it. Let's reveal it. Let's pull it up. Let's see what we're putting the seed, what we're harvesting, and what we're pulling up. Gratitude. I love gratitude. I love feeling grateful. But what if you're at a place that you're struggling and you just can't get to grateful? I have another word that's working for me I want to share. Appreciate. Appreciate to me kind of is like very in the moment. Now, grateful will be my standby, and it will be a place that I will always be and go, because that opens my heart. This, at least the experience for me from a grateful place, is I open my heart and I can receive and I can trust and I can remain loving, grateful. It just kind of opens your heart. The thing is, you got to let go of the part that breaks it before it opens, because there's a part of grateful that there's a little bit of a and then an opening. Does that make sense to anyone? And that's good, because it really is embedded in our memory, grateful. And it will always strive to be there. But there are some times, I mean, there's no way that girl back in that cognitive therapy office could go grateful, but I could go appreciate. I could appreciate a full tank of gas, right? I could appreciate that I had the brain that I could process what this brilliant doctor was telling me. I could appreciate things in my life. Like someone posted, and I'm sorry, I can't remember who, and I'm not on Facebook a lot, but when I opened it up, it said, what word or something makes you happy? And I said, puppy. Because, I mean, puppies and animals just, whoa, my heart just explodes. Something about it. Perhaps you find something that does that for you, and you can just appreciate that. Help you get out of wherever you are if you can't get to grateful. So in summary, I hope I have offered you some things to think about. In summary, I invite you to walk into who you want to be with the full knowing that you are perfect where you are. Take a moment to look at your thoughts. As the holidays come forward, begin looking at what you're kind of running on. Because the beauty and the reality is those never really leave you. And that's not a bad thing, because those are your friends. Those meaning the things you tell yourself that are false truths, that trigger you, that bring you to a place that you are, that says, hey, look at me. Transmutes. You transform. And you get to know them so well that they show up quick and they go away even quicker. Grateful. I am so grateful. Right here, right now, I am grateful. And I feel it. And it's real. It's not forced. It is known. But who knows? Tomorrow my mother-in-law may call. Just kidding. And I'm struggling, and I can't get to grateful, but I can get to appreciate. I appreciate that I actually made cornbread dressing. That means I am completely fixed. And I'll leave you with this. What an amazing experience this was for me. I thank you for providing this space. And before walking in, my husband said the most wonderful thing to me before we even opened the door. He says, we're going to walk out here after this is over, and you're going to be happy, and you're not going to beat up yourself for all the things that you didn't say or didn't do or wish you would have done or could have done better. And you know what? I am. And I thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, I'm David Alt, and I simply want to say thanks. Thanks for taking the time to watch our broadcast here at Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta. We have a vision, and that vision is to reawaken all to their spiritual magnificence. And one of the ways that we are able to do that is through this very medium of broadcasting. So if you got anything out of this, if you felt in any way inspired, or if something spoke to you directly, then I extend an invitation to you to become a part of our family by donating. And there are many ways in order for you to be able to do that. One is to simply go to our website at slca.com, and there you will find all different kinds of prompts that will help you support what it is that we are doing here in Atlanta. One way is to become a pledger. That means that you decide on a monthly basis that you are going to help us with this vision. Another way is to donate through our management system called Fellowship One, another through PayPal, and another even easier way is on your cell phone. You can do what's called text to tithe, and that number is 404-796-7030. Again, thank you so much for your support, and I invite you to come back weekly to see what it is that we're up to. Blessings.